Wherever you are right now, let's take a deep breath to land in this present moment. Deep inhale through your nose. Exhale, release all the way down to the soles of your feet. My name is Becky Moeller, and this space is here to help you reconnect with yourself, one simple practice at a time, in ways that are relevant to the challenges you're facing in your daily life. Now, I want to normalize just the busyness, the stress, the exhaustion, the depletion, or the numbness that so many people feel. When the Dalai Lama was asked to describe the modern world, he described the modern world as lost in thought. So this lost in thought is kind of the plague of our time. And this series of daily sits is the medicine that can help us reconnect and come back to our home, our deeper selves. Now, mindfulness is often approached in the larger sphere as something that's kind of clinical or very separate from our actual day-to-day living. But here, we practice mindfulness as something that is intuitive and integrated into every aspect of our daily lives. I have a quote on my wall that's just outside this hallway that says, "Daily living is the spiritual practice." And that's what these daily sits are designed to help you do, to make your daily interactions your spiritual practice. And that over time with these practices, we gain the ability to bring the love, compassion, patience, wisdom, and clarity of that higher self into everything we're doing externally. Within the framework of Undone Academy, we bring these simple and tangible practices into a larger framework of ego awareness, which helps us become more aware of our patterns or the things that are keeping us stuck. So over time, when we're consistent with these simple, tangible practices, they're carving out an ability to identify, become aware of, and then finally release the limiting beliefs, old wounds, past traumas, and unconscious protectors and coping strategies that are keeping us stuck in suffering and preventing us from achieving the deep fulfillment in our lives and relationships. So these daily sits, although they are simple, are like each stitch of thread that's going to weave a completely new fabric into the life that you're creating. So why do daily sits matter? Because healing isn't about fixing anything. Healing is about becoming aware. Awareness of what's happening inside and awareness of ourselves as awareness. And you'll come to know what that means more and more as you practice daily sits. Daily sits help retrain the nervous system and deepen your connection to the present center network of your brain, which is your highest level operating system where gamma rays are created. Consistency in daily sits creates familiarity, a muscle memory in your body and in your brain. So you're actually deepening the neural pathways that help you stay conscious in your daily living, which increases your ability to soften, to respond rather than react, and to face every moment of your life with intention behind it. Even 2 to 5 minutes a day of these daily sits can help disrupt old patterns of reactivity, of shame, of depression, of fear. What we're really doing is disrupting the monotony and the dialogue of the voice in the head, which ultimately is what's creating so many of our problems and so much of our suffering. These daily sits will also give you a taste of the spaciousness and freedom that exists here within you. Underneath all of that mental noise, we can think of that as our true nature, as your highest self, as your divine essence. This is the space and the ultimate reality that all spiritual traditions are pointing to. And through our simple mindfulness practice, we learn to taste that for ourselves in small and very practical ways. So the purpose of this practice isn't really to get calm, although that will also happen. The purpose is to get connected. And in this connection, this mind-body-spirit connection, to awaken you to the part of you that really is okay underneath all of that mental noise and emotional reactivity. The part of you that is already liberated, that is already free, that is already wide awake. Sometimes I like to say, everything you are looking for out there is already here within you, exactly as you are in this moment. Daily sits are one of the foundational practices that can help us find that. So, what to expect in your daily sit? The daily sits I will offer here will be between 2 to 5 minutes, really bite-sized and manageable pieces to integrate into your day-to-day schedule. They'll include grounding, they'll include breath, They'll include body awareness, and sometimes they'll include a specific focus on a mantra or a lens that will help you work with whatever trigger that the daily sit is designed to answer. There's no pressure to perform or to get it right. This is not the kind of thing where you're looking to master a technique. This is always, each day, a practice of meeting whatever is here with an open heart, with curiosity, with space, with an attitude of non-judgment. We're really meeting ourselves here as students. So know that each sit will intentionally be short. These practices are designed to be doable, repeatable, and compassionate. Small enough to fit into your everyday life no matter how busy you are, and powerful enough to change your everyday life. Pointed specifically to common practical places that we all get stuck. How to approach these practices? You can see I have my own meditation space set up. I like to have a space in my room for my meditation. I feel it feels at home to me. Some people like to make an altar in their room. I have my little meditation cushion that I like to sit on and use. You don't have to have anything fancy. You could sit on a chair, you could sit in your bed, you could sit on the floor, you could lie on your yoga mat. There's no one right way to do a daily sit, but try to make it something that's consistent and repeatable. You'll start to create a behavioral response in your whole nervous system that says, here I am, I'm returning to this space, it's time to relax and get present. And that will help create that muscle memory in your mind. So it might be nice to set up a space in your room or your home where you can always come back to engage in your daily sit. Come exactly as you are. Overwhelmed, tired, hopeful, energetic, resistant, all of it is welcome. There is no such thing as a bad meditation. Every meditation simply gives you more information about your state of consciousness in that moment and will help you get to know yourself and your patterns better. And that's the whole point. The goal isn't to empty the mind. The goal is to observe the mind, and then to bring a loving, compassionate awareness to whatever we observe. One of the key questions that we'll continue to come back to is, can I be with this? Whatever's here in this moment, in this present moment, in my heart, in my mind, in my body, can I be with this? And we'll use that space and that breath to soften into that. If something arises during your daily sit, we just relax around it. We observe it. We allow whatever's there to pass through. The Buddhist principle of impermanence is huge and becomes a living reality when we start to practice meditation, because we'll see how our experience is always shifting and changing, and we'll become the observer of that. So if something arises emotionally, physically, mentally, we just acknowledge it without forcing anything or trying to change it. The practice grows and deepens by returning again and again consistently. So presence is a muscle, just like any other muscle that we're training. Our biceps, our glutes, our cardiovascular health, every muscle we have needs consistency and needs resistance in order to grow stronger. And our daily sits are our repetitions, our reps for the presence muscle in our minds. As you fully commit to a practice of daily sits, whether you're part of my full program of Undone Academy or you're just utilizing this resource, I want you to approach the practice with the proper expectations. At first, this practice will feel subtle. You might wonder why you're doing it, or if you're wasting your time, or what's the point. But eventually it will start to feel familiar. It will start to feel like a coming home. You'll start to notice more space in your mind, in your heart, in your day as you move forward. Then it will become supportive, where you start to realize the time you're investing in this sit is changing the way you move through the rest of your day. And then finally, it will feel essential, like your cup of coffee in the morning, like the air you breathe. Healing happens in layers, often without any fanfare or applause, often without anyone knowing that there's any difference happening outside of you. That healing journey is so personal, and often it is only a journey between your own heart and the higher power of your own understanding. But over time, through these tools, you'll eventually notice more space between stimulus and response, more ability to keep your feet grounded on the floor when the world around you is falling apart, more capacity to catch yourself in your old patterns, your quick reactions, your sharp tone, and instead soften, pause, create a void. And your life will transform through these simple, tiny moments of deep groundedness that once felt impossible. Thank you so much for showing up for yourself and for trusting me with your practice and with your heart. I hold that obligation very sacred. You're not alone. I am right here with you. So when you're ready, let's begin our first daily sit.